welcome to Centurion's Corner, and today we are looking at, from the JADA toy line, the Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers, Fei Long. Now this one I've been really looking forward to. It's kind of like a Bruce Lee-esque figure as well to put on the shelf, so you'll kind of come away with sort of like two feelings for photography and stuff like that. But it's looking pretty cool here. Again, on the actual box, it's on the old style of the arcade machines. Literally exactly the same as the rest, apart from all you got is the face down here and his name. In the background there, you can see he's got two little hands, got an extra head, and then his sort of effect there for his feet. Around on this side, we just got the side of the arcade cabinet. On the back, the rest of the figures that will be coming out in the wave. And again, on this side, we've got a little bit of a bio down here from Hong Kong, and his fighting style is Kung Fu. So I guess without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. So here we have him straight out the box, and again we have like a nice little display for the action figure as well, looking pretty cool on his stage here, and I like the 3D effect as well, so that's pretty cool. And then we get him out for our first impressions. Pull this one out, and yeah, it's kind of nice just to get sort of like a bare-chested sort of like Kung Fu fighter. Definitely in the style of sort of Bruce Lee. That was a great inspiration for this guy as well. So yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Really like him, and it looks like it's got great articulation all the way through as well. So we're going to go away, take some pictures, and we'll see you in a mo. So welcome back. We've been away, we have taken this guy's pictures, and what can I say about this guy? Well, to be honest, there's other figures that I've collected over the past times, but Hasbro always seem to have that kind of feel of an action figure. It's like a nostalgia kind of type. It feels like it's meant to be played with, doesn't feel like it's going to break at any given time. We've got things like NECA out there, and we've got other stuff out there like DC Universe. Even though they are good figures, but they just don't feel like they're capable of some of the sort of like displaying acrobats that Marvel Legends, Marvel Black Series and stuff is a little bit on this sort of like, sometimes the articulation is great, sometimes it's not. But the articulation that we get with the G.I. Joe and the Marvel Legends, that's kind of the thing I'm looking at, where they're really mobility. They feel quite robust, and you don't really get that from other companies, shall I say. But JADA, on the other hand, where these guys are just coming out of nowhere. I mean, this is probably like their first main kind of action figure. Yeah, we had the sort of the monsters and stuff, but they kind of just stand there. They don't really need a lot of articulation. But boy, do they nail it with these guys. These guys are fantastic. They're so fun to move around. All you got to do is like pose them in just certain different ways, like with a little bit of a kick, a little bit of like turning the head, turning the hand, and it just looks dramatic straight away and really cool. And they come with great accessories as well. But starting off with the accessories of this guy, it comes with two alternative hands, two alternative heads, and obviously one of his sort of like attacks that he has as well in the actual game itself. So starting off with the hands, he has got two kind of sort of like punching hands, which we kind of all know and love, which are on these kind of little pegs down here as well, and they're really easy sort of to change around. You can just pop out like so and pop in, so they're not even sort of like feel like they're going to break or anything like that. So the sort of technique that they've used on these is really nice. So just popping those back in there, and yeah, so he comes with like two punching fists. Obviously we showed that one off, and then we've got like more of a relaxed hand, a kind of beckoning kind of way. He does kind of sort of jab and move forward, you know, a bit like the Bruce Lee kind of sort of fighting and stuff on there. So it's kind of nice, pretty cool hand to have, to be honest. And he's got like two of those, as you can see here. The alternative heads as well are pretty cool. The more sort of like static, stoic kind of look, I feel that they're not particularly too great on the sort of like normal sort of faced kind of look in here, because when they're fighting and stuff, you kind of want that kind of grizzle kind of like mouth openness. So I always use this kind of head on here. I think it's a little bit better. But if you just wanted them to stand on the shelf, just looking kind of normal, then you have got that option there. But looking at the head a little bit closer, Yeah, just looks really nice. Really sort of clean paint apps on there. It hasn't got the sort of like squidgy hair that Ryu sort of suffers with. What I found with the Ryu figure as well over time, it's made of this like really squidgy kind of plastic, and the paint is just slightly falling off the top here. It's just getting chipped away, and I've not really moved this guy much, but his hair's getting sort of chipped off and stuff, so I might have to do a little bit of a touch up on there. But yeah, it's more of a harder kind of hair part on here. But yeah, it looks really cool, really great. The eyes look great, and like the downturned mouth and stuff on there. So it really looks like Fei Long as well. So that's his alternative hands, and the only other thing he comes with is his accessory here, which is kind of his flaming kick. I can't remember the actual name of the actual move itself. The thing with Fei Long as well, he come out in the Super Street Fighter. The 4 sort of ones that come out was DJ, T-Hawk and Cammy. But for me, it was definitely Fei Long, and to me, it was like the first time button bashing kind of came out, because you could just get someone in the corner and just keep bashing away, and yeah, lo and behold, he come down there. So he's definitely, as I said, influenced by Bruce Lee, and so was like martial law from Tekken and stuff like that. So they always seem to have these kind of characters. But yeah, so his flame kick, we can just pop it on there. It goes all the way up his leg and stuff like that, and it sort of like whooshes up. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a flight stand, which would have been really good for this guy. The other figures, they come with a little stand for their sort of like special effects, but this one doesn't come with a stand at all, so you got to go out there and find your own, unfortunately, on those parts. But yeah, I mean, the flame effect's pretty cool. It starts with a translucent kind of plastic. It's made of this kind of sort of soft vinyl, sort of rubbery plastic. Obviously you can see it goes from orange up into the yellow to get that kind of flame effect going off. But the only thing I would say about it, it just feels quite sticky. It's got like a sticky film over the top of it. Even though it's not picked up dust or anything like that, it does feel like if you leave it at the bottom of the toy box, it's going to get all those crumbs and other bits and hairs all stuck to it. But whether it is actually sticky or not, but it's just got this really kind of tacky feeling to it, which is a downside on it, and that is for sure. So with that, we can go straight into his articulation, and boy, what articulation this guy has got. So head-wise, you can turn left and right, and as you can see down here, he's got a lower neck movement as well, so that can really sort of generate a lot of movement there in the head, so you get a lot of swagger and etc like that. So even if you want him kicking downwards, you can do that, or looking up. It's really, really cool. Arm-wise, full rotation around up here and comes up to this far. We've got a beautiful butterfly joint in there as well. We've got rotation at the upper arm, so we've got the rotation sort of here, rotation here, and then we've got a double elbow joint as well, which is pinless. Rotation at the wrist, and it's also on the hinge. At the diaphragm, we've got left and right, so you've got a little bit of movement there. It is a little bit clicky at times, and there's a little bit of crunch there as well, which kind of helps along the way. At the sort of waist, you can turn left and right. We've got a bit more swagger in there, so if you want to sort of really sort of got a bit of tilt, and also crunch forward and back, so it's like a ball joint there, which is quite nice. Leg wise, they can come up this far, they can kick forward, they can kick back as well, and the legs can go right up, like all the way up, which is really good, especially for these kicking guys. We've got full rotation around the upper thigh there. We have a double knee, which is pinless as well, at the sort of like knee part here, and then we've got rotation, which is just at the seam of this sort of cuff of his trousers there, so it is kind of like invisible there. And then we've got the rocker and the pivot at the ankle. So yeah, great articulation. You can get these guys into loads and loads of different fighting styles and different sort of techniques and stuff like that, which is really cool. And this guy really just pops as well for the sculpt of the actual figure itself. So with the head on this one's got the slightly little open mouth a little bit there, so he's kind of got his teeth on the show, a little bit of a grr going on, but again, really clean for the eyes. And we've got the hair as well, no colour bleed at all over that. Very, very similar to the original head as well on there. It's only literally the mouth part is slightly a bit different as well, so there's no extra sort of like change in the eyes at all. But the actual body itself looks really cool. He's actually got all these sort of extra kind of dry brushing down there, sort of like to bring out his muscles and stuff on there, and the strain across the top there looks really cool. On the arms as well, got good sort of like sculpt work as well, and around on the back. And actually the butterfly joints as well have a bit of sculpt on there, which is pretty cool. And then down on the rest, we've got trousers. You can see that extra line texture going throughout the actual figure itself, and then coming down to his little tabby toes down here, just like little shoes. A little bit of sloppy paintwork down there. I do feel like this is the part where it does look a little bit let down, unfortunately, but it's only on his feet, so it's not that drastic. But yeah, all in all, a really nice looking figure. I think overall I will kind of give this figure probably a silver. It's a really nice looking guy. I kind of wish it kind of had an action stand for him to sort of like use his sort of effect to jump up on. That's the only thing that's kind of let him down, but apart from that, it is really nice. So we can actually bring in some Marvel Legends as well, do some side by sides. So we got Spider-Man from Marvel Legends here. If you ever wanted to do Marvel versus Capcom, and you can see the sort of size ratios how these guys sort of appear up. Wolverine's already knocked him down, but yeah, really good size. I'm really not having a lot of fun here, but you know, saves me editing later anyway. But yeah, so you can see the size kind of ratio, it kind of fits really well. I kind of feel like this Spider-Man's always a little bit lanky, but it just kind of shows you off those Marvel Legends. And yeah, fantastic range. Really appreciate it. Really well done, JADA Toys as well. And then they got more coming out, and they got Ken, which is my favourite one, which hopefully will be out by the end of the year. So thank you so much. Don't forget to comment down below. You can join the channel for 99p or 99 cents from wherever you're from. You can subscribe, ding the bell, follow me on Instagram, which is in the description down below. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye!